you a BHP?
No.
I was wrong.
Your assumptions are bad. Just because he has long hair doesn't mean he's BHP.
He goes to Ray Ray's.
I met him.
McLeod? Clemson.
Alright.
Yeah,
Ben, do you remember that? How the Hooters were supposed to be? He's saying
WPPB The
that.
Pulse would like to thank Town Cafe,
Good, he's
a
saying.
Linquist
7
Mexican
o'clock.
restaurant,
Oh, you're late?
Brace's Restaurant, the
don't
Mel
worry about it.
Pizzeria, Doc's Tactical
See ya.
Supply, and El Titanic Mexican
So he's
going to
Restaurant,
Hooters when you weren't
sponsoring
supposed to?
In New
WPPB
York?
The Pulse, the award-winning
Remember
student
that?
station.
No. You did it when you weren't supposed to. I can't trust
All right, 5 seconds.
you. Those are more.
The reason we made strict rules.
5 seconds.
That's not proud of.
Because we do more.
Do a lot of talking. That's what you do, Carson. Oh, hey, welcome. Welcome
It's not
to
a
another
proper
edition of the Roundup with Coach Dennis Holt. I'm John Boone, Blake Miller, and Carson Vermillion here with us. Episode number 4 as we come up on game number 3, the home opener, coming up this Saturday at Garrison Arena down in Pendleton. Welcome, Coach. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Doing all right. So this past week, you had an extra week to kind of get things going, get that loss out of the system and move forward. How was the week of practice?
Not too bad. We're still trying to get some guys back healthy. Again, we lost a few guys in the Peach State game also. Keegan Anderson went down with a torn MCL, and he's done for the year. And we had our left tackle who had a stinger during the game, and he's had some issues with that during the off week. So we've just been trying to get most of our guys back healthy and gave them that extra time off. Not trying to do too much, but it really gave us a good opportunity to look at that next wave of guys that have been knocking on the door, and they actually got an opportunity this week to get considerable reps and just to see what we have as far as a backup goes, or even a potential starter. And I think from that standpoint, we really during the week, and then Saturday, we had a very high-spirited practice and had a good turnout with that as well.
That's good, especially coming on that off week and people coming from all over the place to these practices. I don't even know how you handle that with people coming from so many different places to have practices during the week. So that during an off week is great. I didn't even know that Keegan got hurt, to be honest with you. When did that happen in the game?
The next to the last play of the game.
Oh.
Kind of friendly fire. Got an opportunity to go back and had that section of the game screenshotted and sent to me because all I seen was him limp after the play. I immediately took him out because, again, they were on the 1-yard line, so you really don't want a guy that's, whether he got his ankle rolled up on, and essentially once I looked at it, he actually had his leg in the ground, and one of their players basically fell into his leg. So it was just one of those things that you hate to see in football, but it is truly a part of the game. The friendly fire is one of those issues that you just try and deal with and move on.
Man, it must be killing him because he's one of those outspoken guys that really wants to be out there. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So this week, any new additions to the roster that we can look forward to that have come along, or you still look to add before this weekend?
We could be looking to bring in some veteran leadership to help out with some of the guys that we already have, and rally these young guys to and truly the entire game. Mm-hmm. So, if it really does, offense and defensive wise, you're a offense and defensive lineman, if you play on the offense, you also play on the defense. So whether it's 2 plays, 5 plays, or 25 snaps, guys are going to get in the game just for a need, just to give a guy a break and keep those legs fresh coming the third and fourth quarter so we can still get after the quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. And Blake's got our next unit.
Yeah, I'm going to talk wide receivers, and as we talked earlier, these wide receivers, I mean, they can match up with they can match up with the best of them. A lot of speed, especially you get guys like Peebles back, Shaq Mack, James Cash, and of course you can put out Yoshi at a wide receiver. You get Freeman, a guy that stepped up last week, but the Predators have an all-league type guy in Octavius Love, and a lot of people know about him. How do you plan to just get him not involved in the play and get guys open?
With a guy that's such a ball hawk like he is, and physical at the point of attack, more about scheme and more on a defense, really shouldn't stop a whole show. So we'll do some things and take advantage of him in other ways. But for the most part, back and wide receivers being on the same page and not making those same mistakes, whether it's 1st and 10 or 4th and 2. We have to stay ahead and keeping it.
Over to Carson.
And I got the QBs now, and you said earlier implementing a new hurry-up offense for the team. How have QBs adjusted to the new hurry-up offense, and is there new play calls to come along with it?
No, it's the same play calls. It's just a emphasis on getting the play from me and in and out of the huddle. As I said before, I think, like said, whether the play clock was right or wrong, that really doesn't play in a factor. We had 1 delay of game penalty our first game. We had 6 in the first half.
Yeah.
So whether that's us or the play clock, I look at them as penalties, and I'm going to treat them as penalties. And when I go back and look at the film of those, out of the 6, 4 of them were legit penalties. We were just taking too long in the huddle. The quarterback's not really paying attention to the play clock, even though it wasn't in the best of spots. But as a quarterback, you have to know your surroundings and to guys up. And again, if that's due to miscommunications in the huddle and not everybody knowing what they're doing, then that's what we addressed, was those guys with the confusion and how can we best help you understand what we're trying to do so we don't get those penalties.
Yeah, and last week, both QBs, both Shane Martinez and Callahan, both had their strong moments and their weak moments playing, and it's kind of like a toss-up in the air right now for the QB situation. Has either QB or either of the 3 QBs shown anything during practice to make you say that this is my guy going into the Predators game?
Honestly, Yoshi and Hunter have both had outstanding weeks of practice this week. And those 2 right now are the front runners to get the starting nod on Saturday. We still have another 3 practices to go before, but we'll just take it one practice at a time and see where it goes. I honestly would like to keep that competition between all 3 of them at a high level, because it makes us as a team better. But with that being said, there's only 2 of them that's going to dress, and they know that, and it's just which 2 have the better weeks of practice that I feel give us the best opportunity to win Saturday.
Yeah, and I'm sure that makes them play harder too, knowing that someone's coming after their position. Mm-hmm. And I know Blake's seen a couple things on the Predators going into this game. Defensive-wise, did you have anything to add on the QBs going into the game?
The Predators QBs, I really want to talk more receivers. Scooby Wright and Wyatt Rogers are going to be matchup problems against any team. How do you look to control that with a guy maybe like Peebles and Quan Bristol back?
We'll design some things to try and take away what we like to do. I don't really. The great thing about football is you are who you are. You know, you establish an identity, and you tend to try and grow from that identity. I think they have, like I say, very talented wide receivers, and they're going to do what they believe is going to get them the best opportunity to win, and we have to stop them. So again, all of this is man-on-man football. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. We just can't lose that many. And with those guys that you mentioned, I mean, they can make your day extremely miserable when you're just sitting there watching them run past guys and catching deep balls.
Definitely. That's going to wrap up Inside the Game with Blake Miller and Carson Moon. We'll be right back to talk the home opener in Tombstone against the Predators with Boone and Coach Holt here on the Pulse Sports Network, the Roundup. I said it. Oh, I'm so dumb.
What do you mean?
I said the wrong name. I said an energy wide receiver. I said Scooby Wright.
I didn't even notice.
You're good, Blake.
I said it confidently. That's why.
Evidently, we had it on wireless, and evidently wireless got hung up. Because somebody told me about it, so I plugged it into the network. We'll just do that from now on. I'm not even going to trust the wireless. That's why I keep saying all these places we go for games, they got to have it plugged in. Wireless is just not dependable.
So let me, you meant to say what was name, didn't you?
Yeah. And I kind of watched it earlier when we were in class, and I was literally the only two names that they kept saying was Riot Rogers and Scooby Wright, and it just got stuck in my head. I said it, and I was like, I know Coach said I kept looking at him funny because I was like, oh, it's so messed up.
You could have just paused yourself and said,
He had already started with his answers. I could have
Yeah.
I didn't mean that.
Which I did my homework, so I backed you up by not continuing to say their name.
That'd be funny. Just kept on saying the receiver's name wrong.
Just look at him like, huh?
Yeah, I gave him that look like.
See, he was very nice about that.
I don't recall him being a
15.
But we like his name. It's a cool name.
It is.
Oh,
And we play the energy.
Yeah, we do. At home.
5.
Our final segment of the Roundup on mypulseradio.com, the Pulse Sports Network. I'm John Boone, along with Coach Dennis Holt and Blake Miller and Carson Vermillion. Glad you're with us this evening, or whenever you wind up listening or watching us. Let's talk about the game coming up this weekend, and outside of all, I think we've analyzed enough about the players. But this is a historic day, obviously, for the Cowboys. First ever home game. Let's talk about what to expect at the home opener. First off, a lot of people are asking about tickets. So how do they get tickets, and how much do they cost, and all that?
Tickets will be basically sold at the door at the arena. We're not doing any pre-sales of the tickets because the arena wants to actually keep a track. They want to track the numbers, and the best way to do that is to pass them all out yourself. And prices will range, of course, from $20 on up to your season ticket passes, which are on our website, and you can go and visit the website and take a look around and
CarolinaCowboys.com
and
With a Z.
and see what we've been doing and check out the latest of the EC Heat that we just helped them with a fundraiser. They'll be at the game Saturday, raffling off some tickets to help with providing them with uniforms for their season, and basically raffling off a video game console, and we're just trying to make it as fan friendly and fun for everyone. We have something for every age group, young and old, and we're just hoping that you can catch a good football game in the middle of it.
Now, kids are free, and what's the limit on that? We talked about that last week. We want to make sure everybody understands how that works. How does it work?
Kids are free up until the age of 12.
Okay.
You know, so, and that's with a paying adult, of course, because no unchaperoned child will be admitted into the
And a
field.
13-year-old.
You know, but we're not trying to sit there and do that. So, you know, kids are free under 12 with a paid adult. Don't just, you know, drop your child off at the arena because there's not going to be anybody to really keep an eye on them. And again, there'll be a whole section, you know, right off of the home team that has the water slides and the bouncy houses and the clowns and the ice cream vendors. And so we'll have
Carson parked right up.
I'll be ready for one day.
we'll have some things that are, you know, geared towards for everyone.
And there's also a chance for people to still get involved sponsorship-wise too.
Right.
And even for this game, I was told that if you give the Cowboys a call, that you can actually set up a vendor there and you know, display your goods and support the team at the same time.
Yes, sir. Those things are still being worked out logistically as to how do they set up within how we're going to set up. And, you know, we're still totally trying to work the entire space to maximize, you know, the space that we need. And still, because it is such a big arena, you know, a lot of people will be surprised at exactly how big Garrison is once they get inside of it. Some of the photos that I've seen of it really don't do it any justice as to how perfectly set up it is for an arena game.
It is.
You know, because all of the seats are elevated, so there will be no bad seat in the house. It's just a matter, do you want to sit real close or do you want to sit even further up? But even sitting further up, you know,
Good perspective.
there is no bad seat in the building. There's plenty of space to have the vendors set up, and you know, we just want everybody to come support us and what we're doing. I said this has been 3 long hard years of traveling from as far as Rochester, New York, to as far south as Statesboro, Georgia. So we've run the whole East Coast, and we're just really happy to be able to finally give our true diehard fans a place to come and actually participate in what we feel is a great arena.
It's important that everybody come out, tell your friends. Everything. This is yeah, I don't want to understate it. It's a historical thing for the team, having your first ever home game after 3 years of existence, and they need that support as we move forward. So if you have any interest in the Cowboys whatsoever, or coming out and a great family event, get out there. What else are you going to do this Saturday? Right? You're not going to go to prom or anything. Are there any proms this
I don't think so.
Saturday?
I don't think so.
Okay, so last Saturday.
Football.
This is more fun than going to prom.
This is about football and a family fun time.
And we're dubbing this game the Battle of the Upstate.
Yeah.
On top of it. So, like I said, you have 2 teams that are 40 miles from each other. And, you know, again, most of these guys either have played with each other on a team last year or in years past. So there'll be a good, hard-hitting, fast-paced game that, you know, the Cowboys hope to come out on the upside of the score with.
By Clemson, besides Clemson and Carolina, this might be the second biggest rivalry in the upstate.
It could be.
whole
Grow
state.
into that. You're pulling all the Clemson students over, right? You're
we'd love
marketing
to.
this on campus, right?
We'd love to have that be the second biggest game in the state.
College party Saturday.
There you go. Oh, and that's another thing. They're having a tailgate party before the game.
It's in football town too.
Our friend Jay Jacobs and company out there. I think he's even cooking up hot dogs for everybody. So
Jay's-
it's like he's doing it. He's like a super fan.
And Jay's been an amazing guy. You know,
He's doing it
from,
all.
Like I said, from the kid zone, that's pretty much all he's doing. Him and his company have really stepped up to the plate in supporting the Cowboys since day one, since he found out that we were actually going to be playing, you know, in close proximity. And he's like, well, what other team am I going to root for at this time of year? He said, might as well be you guys. So he's been all in. He's been 100 miles an hour, you know, in the community doing different things and supporting the Cowboys and the Cowboy organization and just giving back to the community of the upstate as a whole. And such a great guy. I really can't wait to meet him again because the two times that I've met him have been, you know, once during the winter time and then now I get to actually see everything that he's actually talked about doing and getting the chance to see it and seeing the kids smiles on their face because, you know, football is only going to last a kid for a little while. If you give him something to go jump around in, they'll get tired of that and then they'll come back. So,
Right. And clown.
and a clown. And ice cream.
And food, ice cream, there you go. So we're all looking forward to it, and we hope to see all you down there. I know from our perspective as covering it, being the media that are covering it for the team, it's very exciting for us, and we've been looking forward to it for a long time. I know you've been looking forward to it. So everybody listening or watching, just drop whatever you had planned for Saturday. It's supposed to rain all weekend anyway, I think. So come indoors and watch a great football game. It doesn't get any better than that. And don't forget, you can catch the game on the Boxcast TV link, which goes out to all of our social media. And you can watch it on YouTube, Carolina Cowboys channel. And you can hear it at mypulseradio.com, the WPPB The Pulse app, the TuneIn app, Radio FX app. No matter where you are, you can watch or listen to this game, or certainly come on out.
Come to it.
And that's one time where we're saying it's okay to come out. You don't have to stay back and listen to us. This is a home game. Get out there, be
We'll do
there,
both at
have
the
some
same
fun.
time.
Come on and visit the ranch.
Visit the Tombstone Ranch. That'll do it for another edition of the Roundup, and hopefully next week when we come back we can talk about all the great fun that everybody had at the home opener and a W to go along with it, right?
Yep.
I'd like to thank Coach Holt for joining us again as usual, and Carson and Blake, Casey on the controls over there, very enthusiastic in his job, and we appreciate that. Join us on Saturday, 7 o'clock start time for the radio, the TV, the YouTube, the everything. So we'll talk to you then, or we'll see you out there for the home opener. Thanks again for joining us on mypulseradio.com and the Pulse Sports Network.
What a show. The Roundup.
The Roundup.
We rounded it up.
Maybe best show yet. You think? It keeps coming back. I don't know. I wasn't here for the first one, so I wouldn't know.
Wow.
I wasn't Carson was here for the